This is the second iteration of a video of this format, which is essentially just a roundup of cloud gaming news from the previous week. And a big thank you to those who gave positive feedback for the first time we did this. Just a heads up, this week is going to be very Google Stadia centric, one of my favorite topics. I'll try to remain impartial, but those of you with a sensitive disposition, leave now. So what happened this week? Google announced that the Stadia Pro tier will be going free for 2 months for everyone, saying, "We're facing some of the most challenging times in recent memory. Keeping social distance is vital, but staying home for long periods of time can be difficult and feel isolating. Video games can be a valuable way to socialize with friends and family when you're stuck at home. So we're giving gamers in 14 countries free access to Stadia Pro for 2 months. So just to clarify from that wording, what you are effectively doing is signing up for Stadia Pro. The first 2 months will be free, but after those 2 months, you will automatically roll onto the Stadia Pro subscription, which is $9.99 a month. So Google go on to say, anyone who signs up will get 2 free months of Stadia Pro with instant access to 9 games. And those 9 games are Destiny 2, Guilt, Grid, Serious Sam Collection, Spitlings, Stacks on Stacks on Stacks, SteamWorld Dig 2, SteamWorld Quest, Hand of Gargamel, Gilgamesh, and Thumper. Honestly, not a bad selection for free games. I don't think anybody at this stage is turning their nose up at 9 free games. These appear to be a selection of titles that Stadia Pro subscribers had received in the previous months. Yes, this is what we've been paying for. However, as I said, it's a selection. It's not all of the games that were previously included in Stadia Pro subscription. So some of the major ones that are missing: Farming Simulator 19, Metro Exodus, Samurai Showdown, and Tomb Raider Definitive Edition. So what this means for you, if you decide to take up the 2-month free offer, at the end of it, if you do decide to cancel, you do get to keep these 9 games if you've claimed them all, and also any other purchases you make from the Stadia store during your subscription period. So I guess if isolation from the outside world causes you crippling insanity, and it seems like a good idea to spend $119.99 on the Ultimate Edition for Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint, at least you get to keep it and, you know, be reminded of your mistakes. However, you'll remember one of the main selling points of Stadia Pro compared to their free subscription was the ability to play those games in up to 4K at 60 frames per second. However, right now, in this situation we find ourselves in, similar to a lot of companies who offer services like this, Google do go on to say, to reduce load on the internet further, we're working toward a temporary feature that changes the default screen resolution from 4K to 1080p. The vast majority of people on desktop or laptop won't notice a significant drop in gameplay quality, but you can choose your data usage in the Stadia app. So they've stated that pullback in quality will be a temporary feature, but no word on if that means it will be there for the entire 2 months of people's free trial, or if at any point within these 2 months, people who have just signed up will get a chance to try Stadia at 4K 60 frames per second. Usually I'd take a crack at them for this, but as I mentioned, very aware that during this time, other companies who offer services like this have had to take similar measures, the likes of YouTube, Disney Plus, and Netflix. Although, I guess they do have a lot more customers. All right, one crack at them. So let me know what you think about this move in the comments down below. Is this good guy Google trying to help people keep their sanity during a very difficult time? Or is this just a desperate ploy to try and bump those player numbers up and maybe at the end of 2 months see a slightly healthier bottom line from people who forget to cancel their subscription? But moving on from Stadia onto a service we've not really talked about too much on this channel, and that is PlayStation Now. So just because we haven't talked about it on the channel before, just a high-level overview, PlayStation Now is Sony's crack at cloud gaming or game streaming, and allows users to stream over 750 titles from PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, direct to their console or their PC. Personally, I haven't actually used the service myself, which is why we've never really mentioned it on the channel here before. But if it's something you're interested in, let me know in the comments down below and I can certainly check it out and do a review on it. So similar to other services like this, every month PlayStation add more titles to the service. It's just instead of 2, 3 or 4 games per month, Sony are saying that they add hundreds of games per month. Obviously, with such a large catalogue spanning back over 2 decades, a lot of these titles aren't always noteworthy, but the reason it comes up this week is their announcement of the titles that they've added this month. So the 3 noteworthy titles that PlayStation announced in a blog post recently was that they would be adding the Golf Club 2019, stay with me, Just Cause 4, not bad, and Marvel's Spider-Man. So a great opportunity for anyone who maybe missed out on Marvel's Spider-Man. Amazing game. It was Game of the Year 2018. And if you wanted to jump straight into it as well, PlayStation now also offer a 7-day free trial. Maybe that'll be enough to keep some people inside this bank holiday weekend, because literally I looked outside a little while ago and saw people walking down the street. Pretty sure they were packed for a picnic on the beach. We're all gonna die, aren't we? Next, this was just an interesting piece I came across that talks about the cloud gaming market as a whole. And it's a report that states in 2018, the total market value of cloud gaming was just under $1 billion. So just a small fraction compared to mainstream gaming, which was valued at 93 billion. However, the report goes on to say by 2027, they estimate this will go up to at least 3.9 billion. The report credits a couple of factors to this increase, including the growth of 5G networks, the upsurge of competitive gaming, apparently the rise in number of gamers. I guess that makes sense, because I guess everyday kids grow up and get into gaming, but as you get older, I guess it's not really something you grow out of. Speaking personally, old man Mark, never gonna give it up. And then I'm adding one myself to this list, and that is a growing number of cloud gaming platform providers. Obviously last week we talked about Amazon launching what is currently known as Project Tempo. And also when we last talked about GeForce Now and the publishers who have removed their games, one of the speculations is they were removing those games so that maybe they could look into their own platforms to host those games on. Again, just a quick piece of news I thought it was an interesting one to share with you. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. That 3.9 billion estimate by 2027, is that too low? Is it just about right? Or do you think maybe cloud gaming will explode, go super mainstream, and by 2027, the value will skyrocket? And lastly, some updates on Shadow to finish off our special time together.
12 megabytes of RAM, 500 megabyte hard drive, built-in spreadsheet capabilities.
Wow, what are you gonna use it for?
Games and stuff.
We'd previously talked about how increased usage due to the lockdown had caused issues at the Paris data center, effectively causing them to go over their contractually agreed amount of electricity at that data center with their electricity supplier. However, some good news since then. Essentially, there have been no further incidents, and they've also continued to report a stable service. They've also mentioned recently, again, this situation we find ourselves in, how that had impacted the activation of boost users to the Amsterdam and Paris data centers. However, again, a recent update, they've stated that they'd found that delicate balance between maintaining the performance for existing users and continuing to onboard those boost users. And just a side note, they've stated the US activation of boost users is moving ahead as planned. And lastly, for those of you who had added additional storage to your pre-order, in a previous update we'd said this was due to be added in April. You're thinking, Mark, we're in April now, what's the deal? So just yesterday they've stated more information on additional storage will be released in the coming days, so keep an eye out on your inboxes, but also I'll leave a link in the description down below to Shadow's daily update which they've been posting, just some more regular communications for their customers, again in this very strange time we find ourselves in. But that's it from me. Again, I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on any of the topics we've discussed in the comments down below. If you found this video helpful or somewhat entertaining, a like rating would be appreciated. If you haven't already, remember to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. I'm gonna keep saying it until this is over. Wash your hands, stay inside, and as always, I shall see you in the next one.